Hey, welcome back to Art Talk. Hey, did you do something with your hair? Looks nice. And for those of you who are here for the first time, you are so welcome to Art Talk, a place where we just talk about art in overall and life as an artist and art career. This time, I'm actually trying to record this on a different time because last video, my dog was featured in it unwillingly, and I don't want you guys to get distracted by barks again. I'm so sorry for that. Hopefully this time things will work out better. Hopefully. And since last video, I was thinking about what I would talk about in the next one, because there's so much I want to talk about. There's so many important topics that I feel like are being under discussed. But something that has been coming to my mind is this idea that came to me when I got back to practicing. Because as I've said previously in another video, I spent a lot of time not practicing at all. I was just not practicing. I was just doing art without any specific training or learning. So when I got back to this kind of practices that you are seeing right now on the screen, I started thinking that there is a very specific thing that will make people improve in their art, and it's not the practice itself. It's something that leads to this practice. And now that I think of it, when I stopped to think about it, it seems like this is something overlooked by most people. Mainly because this topic in a specific spreads to a lot of different subtopics in this whole conversation. So before I even started practicing again, I actually tried to start my dream project for the moment. I have had many dream projects along the years. I've changed a lot. I grew up. I started making art when I was so young. So like my ideas, my perspective on things, my inspirations, the content that I consume, all of it changed. Everything changes. So my dream projects changed too. But my most recent one was to make a tarot card deck, and I'm actually making it now. I'm drawing every single card from the original tarot deck, the original Rider-Waite tarot deck, and actually making some extra drawings for two new suits. And this is a dream project that I was postponing for quite a while. I had this idea 1 year before I actually started making these cards, and I actually redrew some of them. I think I had drawn 6 cards before I rebooted it and started it over again because I was not happy with the results. But the actual finished products, the actual finished arts, the ones that I'm working on right now, they are going well. And this is something that I was postponing for so long. And the reason I was postponing was because I was afraid of not being good enough and skilled enough to put it off. And it really comes to that idea of, oh, this is something so central to my art career. This is something that I'm so passionate about and that I care so much that I cannot afford making it wrong and starting it the wrong way. And because of that, I resourced my energy to other things, to other projects. But it didn't really work out very well. I was passionate about other things. Yes, I still am passionate about these things. It's not like there's just one project that I want to work on and everything else is bullshit. It's not like this. But at the same time, I was more than aware that these things would not make me as excited about art as this tarot deck project. I knew that. I could feel it. And if I told this anyone else and they saw me talking about it, they would feel it as well. By the way, I am kind of an esoteric guy. I don't even do too many readings. I don't even read tarot that much, but I love the aesthetic. I love symbolism. I love this idea of collectionables, this art that spreads into different topics, but stay consistent with an overarching theme. I love this. I really love this. That's why I was so passionate about things like Pokemon, for instance, because collectibles are so good. And tarot decks are full of collectibles, really. And you collect feelings and emotions and situations. and readings really. So thinking about the Rider Waite aesthetic makes me so excited to go back to it and keep working on this deck. And the reason I decided to start this project was because I was thinking very thoroughly and carefully about why I am even doing this. Why am I even drawing? Why do I do this? And the reason why, well, the main reason was because I'm passionate about it, but really, it was the feeling that I was trying to search on this earth. The feeling of excitement about creating something. And I do believe that the only reason we do anything in life is so that we can feel feelings that we are not feeling right now. You try and search for a partner because you feel you lack something that this partner is going to give to you. You search for the better job because this better job is going to give you money, and money is going to give you the security that you lack right now, or that you feel like you lack right now. It's not about feelings, and we can emulate feelings because your brain doesn't really know what is true or not, what is reality, physical reality, and what is mental reality. So art is really a way to emulate those feelings. That's why we get so immersed into movies and comics, and even when you're scrolling through your Twitter feed and seeing different artists, you get immersed into that. And these different pieces, these different artworks, they make you feel things. And that's why we are even here, to make people feel. But before anyone else feels something, you have to feel something. And the thing that excites you most is always going to be the thing that makes you feel the better. And the only thing that you need, and actually the only thing that you can do to feel good about making art and about being an artist, is to feel excited. And you cannot feel excited if you know that you are capping yourself with projects that are not your dream project. And I know that this might sound like more persuasive than logical, and it might sound at first like a bad advice, because you might be, for instance, just starting out and just now learning the basics of that art field specifically, and you have this dream project that in your mind it's so beautiful, it's so perfect, it's the best thing ever, but you're not ready yet. But I can guarantee you're never going to feel ready, never. And it's not worth it to postpone it, because you are going to change. You are going to go through a lot of things, not only in your art life, but in your life as a whole, because you are a human being and you are living on this earth 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have no rest. You are not going to rest from life. You are going to keep living the human experience as long as you are alive, as long as you are you. So you're going to keep changing every single day, every single second. And this dream project is going to change too. If you have something grandiose in your mind, you can totally work on it right now. You can start right now and see how it flourishes. There is maybe other reasons for you not to work on a dream project. For instance, if you want to make something that you know is going to take a lot of time. You want to work on a comic, for instance, and comics do take so much time, so much hard work, and you just don't have the time. That's another conversation entirely. That's for another video. But if you're lacking, if the only thing that you're lacking is confidence to make a good art, I can guarantee you're never feeling ready. You're never going to feel like it's the right time to do it. So you're better off doing this right now, starting today, now, because this is going to make you feel excited. And when you feel excited about it, when you're not feeling anxious and afraid of not putting out work at the best quality ever or at the best moment ever, you're going to feel free from this weight that you're carrying. And a lot of things are going to happen when you do this. The first thing that is going to happen is that you will feel energized to work on your art project for longer hours, for more time. And like it or not, at the end of the day, the brain likes volume. The brain likes to acquire things and to learn things by volume, you need a lot of time doing something to be good at it. And it becomes very difficult to do that in art if you are not excited about the things you do. If you are doing your dream work, if you are working on the thing that you want the most, you are going to feel more energized because you are going to be constantly, daily interacting with something that makes you genuinely creative and happy with it. And you're going to feel connected with that work in a way that you cannot feel with anything else, really. You cannot brute force your passion. And if you are working on a secondary project, it's going to be cool, yeah, but at the same time, you won't feel as connected and it won't be as energizing to work on that. And when you work on something that you're really passionate about, it becomes very easy to put out a lot of volume. And as I was talking before, I'm practicing right now, and I decided to practice because of this tarot card thing. And how are those two things connected? Well, they are connected because I don't feel like I'm skilled enough to pull it off, to make this whole deck. And as I speak, and as I make new cards, I realize that I'm improving. And when I looked at some of the cards that I was not 100% happy with, I decided to get better. And practicing became something meaningful again. Because it was not meaningful before. Because I was not really caring that much for the things that I was drawing. But now that I really care about it, it became meaningful. Practicing became meaningful, and it's not as tiring anymore. I can practice making art better without thinking about how this is not going to lead me specifically to sell my art or to have finished artworks, but to improve my ability to make that most important project even better. And it helps me get more volume. If I was not working on this main project, on my dream project, I wouldn't be as excited about practicing as I am right now, because it is sometimes a very tedious process. Even though I'm drawing and I can listen to music while I do it, sometimes I can be on a Discord calls with friends as I'm practicing, but it's not the same thing. It's not making new art, it's not being extremely creative and trying to make new things and try to express myself. It's just practicing. It's just me learning and putting out more volume on anatomy studies. And suddenly it became something way more bearable, and I can make this more routinely now. And this is the main thing. This is the one thing that you really need to understand. When you feel excited about your art, it means you're doing it right. And it will naturally guide you through your best actions. It will make you want to improve, and this improvement will come from practices that now feel way better because you are really passionate about that. The second thing that will happen is that you will stop switching projects as much, hopefully. And some people are very hyper creative or are very excited about different things. And if you are one of those people, and this is fairly common in the art world, if you are one of these people, you want to change projects a lot of times. You want to switch things. And this happens a lot when you're working on secondary projects. So like, I did this a lot. If you skim through my channel, you're gonna see that I did this a lot. I worked as a fashion designer for some time. Not even work, I didn't even had official works, freelance jobs are related to fashion. And I really love fashion. Fashion's so cool. But at the same time, it was not the main thing for me. I was not thinking about it like, this is the one thing that I'm really passionate about. And it made me switch projects. I switched for it because I was not entirely happy with my work. And I switched from it because I was not entirely excited about it. And once you start focusing so much on one specific project and you stop switching projects so much, the damage that comes from it also fades. It fades away because it is damaging. It is very damaging. You might not realize this at first, but once you see that you made little progress into different things, you realize that you could have done way more progress, so much more progress in a very specific thing that would pay out way more. So this is the secondary thing that will happen. And the third thing that will happen, and this is the part that makes everything pay out, but not really pay out, but that shows that it's paying out. You're going to be able to see your progress when you are working on very different things and trying different skills and learning different things for different projects. You know that you're progressing, but you might not feel it. But once you work on one thing and you do that thing again and again and again, and you work on subdivisions of that one main project, you're going to see yourself getting better at one thing over time, or at a subset of things over time. It's more restricted, yes, but it is aligned with what makes you the most excited, the happiest with art. And you're going to see your progress. It's amazing how fast this can happen. I have been working on my tarot deck for maybe 2 months now, I believe, maybe less. And I can already see the difference between my first and last cards. I have progressed over things that I was not even paying attention to, just because I was really focused on making this project the best I could. Not focusing on the idea of perfectionism, because this might kill you. Not just your art, it might kill you. But focused on the idea of being myself and outputting something that I was happy with and trying to improve for that. And in the process, a lot of different things that I was not paying attention entirely, they improved. They improved a lot. And this made me realize that I missed this feeling. I missed the feeling of improving and feeling like I'm improving. Because when you're new to this, when I was just starting out, every little improvement felt like a huge thing. I first learned about anatomy. I first learned about how the structures of the body work and the three main masses, the head, the torso, and the hips. I was like, okay, this is amazing. I can now draw bodies. But once I was acquainted with most of the things about the anatomic structure, learning about anatomy doesn't feel as great now. It doesn't feel as cool. It doesn't feel as such a huge project. It just feels like a very tiny bit part of it. But once I could see this paying off and showing in my work, I was like, okay, this is real. This is real. This is what I really need to do now. And I'm following the right path. I feel confident to talk about this. I feel confident to do this. And I really should keep going because I'm improving. My art is improving. I'm creating something good out of it, and I'm excited about it. It couldn't be better. Because really, improvement comes from joy. If you are not joyful about your art, it becomes a burden. You don't want art to become a burden, because the reason you do this is because you love it. There's no other way, there's no other reason. I mean, if there's other reason and it's for money, you're probably not even listening to me, so you're not here. You wouldn't be here. And if you're watching this video, it means that you are happy. You are excited to be an artist. You want to be excited as an artist, at least. And you will see that improvement comes from joy, at least in art, because that's the reason you're doing this. And once you feel really happy about who you are and what you are doing, once you feel excited about your own work, you will see that you will improve. If not just by doing this, which will make you improve, by the way. If not just on the project, it will make you feel more inspired and feel more ready to work on secondary skills that will help you make that work better. And this is timeless. This is timeless. And really, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and at which level your skills are. This is going to make the whole process way easier. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing you need as an artist. That's the only thing you need to feel fulfilled as an artist. And you will still feel a lot of fear about being an artist, and mainly if you are trying to make this your only or main career. And these things can make you feel like you don't have control over your life, which is always a difficult feeling to work with, because honestly, who doesn't want to have control over their lives, right? You feel like you are playing games with a destiny that knows way more about you than yourself. But these are all illusions. And I truly believe that these are all tricks that the old us are playing with us. That every time that you take a big step into something that is really important, the old you, the old ideas and beliefs that you had or still have, they're trying to make you go back to that state because it is addicted to existing, and you have to kill the old you to make a new you exist now. To make this new you take control, this new you that is making something great, that makes something so exciting, that everybody that feels the same way with your art are going to feel attracted to what you do. And this is a beautiful feeling. And I think every artist should have the chance to feel this. It's really beautiful. It's amazing. You're going to feel connected with people you don't even know, mainly if you are working on face-to-face, but even if you're not, even if you're just posting things on the internet, on social media, you're still going to feel connected to people, and it's beautiful. And the last point that I'm going to make to try and make you believe in this idea and start working on your main project, on your dream project, if you have not started yet, is to not be afraid that this is going to kill your main project. The idea that if you start working on this now and finish this, the final result is going to be bad, and that you could have waited 1 more year, 2 more years, or 10 more years and then make it perfect. Because, as I said, you're going to change. If you take too long to start this, it will not be your dream project anymore. Or if it still is, it's going to be so different from what you first imagined. It is going to change so much that you're not even going to recognize it. And the work that you had as a dream work, as a dream piece, as a dream artwork, as a dream project, it will fade. It will not exist anymore. It will be forever locked as potential in the past. And I really hate lost potential. And when I say lost potential, I'm not talking about people who are showing to the world their geniuses. Those are just outliers, brief outliers. Everybody has infinite potential inside themselves, infinite potential to do all kinds of things. Because art is way more than just canvases and albums and movies and plays. They are not just there. This is what we perceive as the main representation of art. But I do believe art is everywhere. Beauty is everywhere, so art is everywhere. So I believe everybody has potential to put out beautiful things and to become a beautiful soul, to extend their most interesting, creative, and exciting ideas to places that they never imagined they could reach. The best and most interesting authors that I know and whose works I follow had these weird ideas that didn't seem to be exciting on paper, but now are really, really interesting. And ideas that now I can help but feel extremely excited about and also extremely inspired by. And if this all that I said doesn't convince you, my one last argument that I can try and use to make you convinced is that if you make something that you feel really proud about, even if you don't feel you are as skilled, even if you think that it is underwhelming as an artwork, if you feel proud about it because you did it, because you can finally say, I finished the project that I dream about. If you do this, this project will definitely, and I can assure you, and you can try and think of people who did this, and you will find this truth everywhere. This project will carry inspiration to other people. And even if it doesn't become something incredibly huge and extremely successful, it will still inspire people to work on their dream projects. And by the end of this journey, you might find out that your dream project now is something different. And this one work that you did, this one project that you worked on for an extended period of time, was the leverage that you needed to make something even greater. Once you finish something that you feel really connected to, the only place to go now is up. You cannot feel worse. Just think about this connection that you have with a great project, you're going to keep feeling it every time more and more. Even if you have a specific magnum opus that you cannot beat, a piece or a project that was so good to you and to other people that you cannot overcome, even if that happens, you're still going to feel every time more entitled to work on these kind of things, because now you know that you can do it. And as you improve, and you're going to improve because you're going to feel connected and excited about it, you're going to become even better and better and better. And this feedback loop is something addicting, and it will make you feel way more connected and happier in overall, and at peace with what you have chosen to do. So hopefully this made some sense. Hopefully this was logical and practical enough so that you can change your mind if you have not started working on a very interesting and exciting project yet. And hopefully you try out if you haven't yet. And if you do, please share with us. Share in the comments. You can try and contact me on my social media and we can discuss about your project too. I love meeting new people and seeing what you guys are doing and what you're working on. So it's going to be a pleasure if you contact me and show me your artwork. I'm going to feel really, really, really happy about this. And if you have any comments or ideas you would like to share in the comments, please feel free. This is an open space for everybody to talk about things they really love and enjoy. So I think I've talked too much. This is already more than 30 minutes in the recording. I might cut some parts. I would not leave my bloopers here. but yeah. And today my dog was not featured here. I know this for a fact, so that's a plus. I'm improving at this YouTube thing. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you here next time. Peace.